6, as always, stay tuned. CH at Home, coming up right now.
Bye for now.
Welcome to CH at Home for this Tuesday. No, this is not Leslie Stewart.
No, Leslie's under the weather today, so
That's
I'm
right.
filling in this morning.
Annette Hom from CH Morning Live joins us, and we're going to talk about a very hot topic today.
Real estate.
Always a
Real
hot
estate
commodity.
And home staging, getting ready to sell your house. So
Yeah.
that's really important.
Michael Casnji joins us from Sutton Realty to update us on the housing market. Now, we've been talking, everybody's talking a lot, Michael, about the weather and how it's impacting in so many ways. How is weather impacting in the real estate market?
January's been off to a fantastic start. I think this might really start the spring market early. It's just easy for people to get out and around.
Right.
We're not really...
Because normally there's that lull when the weather is really, really bad. You don't feel like going out and, you know, getting all bundled up and everything, going to an open house or whatever on a Sunday afternoon. You don't feel like that.
It's miserable.
But now it's great outside. Let's go look at houses.
Absolutely.
But ideally, isn't it better to show your house in the spring or the summer? For example, and you and I were talking just before the start of the show, you do the same thing as my wife, Patty. You look through the home section every weekend.
Looking.
It's like a sport.
Yeah.
So she saw a house on the weekend that she liked. She got on the internet. She's looking at pictures. Well, she's looking at the backyard. She doesn't like the looks of the backyard. But let's face it, this picture was taken maybe a week or so ago, and it's all bare. So, I mean, it's not the greatest time, at least, to show the property, right?
I've experienced the spring market really to start in February. Because even though that's winter, usually they're not closing for 30 or 60 days. So
Right,
they're not
so
moving
you're
in until
moving into
March
the spring.
or April.
Yeah.
And they're moving in the spring. So the spring market does start in a winter month.
So it's probably a good idea then, if you know that sometime in the next few months you're going to have to sell your home, like if it were spring or summer or whatever, snap some shots, some digital shots of the backyard.
In the good times.
How beautiful the garden is, if you've got a great garden or whatever, and keep that, you know, at the back of the computer thing and haul it out when you need to.
A lot of people leave that stuff on the table.
Yeah, oh, that's a good
By
idea,
the feature
yeah.
sheets, they'll show their gardens in peak season. So that people can get an idea of what it does look like or what the potential is.
Now, we've talked too about how selling a house or buying a house can be an emotional experience on both sides.
And you can't let it do that, right?
No.
It has to be, you kind of have to think about it, like I know we just sold about a year ago, and you can't think of it as selling your home, it's got to be selling the house itself, right?
That's right. The reality is, though, it is your home, and there's a lot of memories there, and those memories are priceless. But you do have to try to remove emotion from the equation and be objective.
You have to be the voice of realism, right? Because you're
and
the one
sometimes
that's...
it's not a nice voice, right? It's like,
But you're the one that's saying, look, you know, you're asking too much for this house, and let's face it, we all see homes that are sitting on the market for a long time, and obviously that's a sign that they're not priced properly, right?
Correct. I base everything on numbers. Okay, I look at comparable sales in the neighborhood, what are the trends that are currently happening, and with that overview, try to come up with the most accurate market price for your home. And that's the best way to approach it.
because you can't necessarily go, say if you've just, you know, the home that you're trying to sell now, say you bought it 5 years ago, and you bought it very high kind of thing, you can't base your price today on that high market necessarily.
You can't base it on what you paid for it.
Right.
It's current market conditions. That's what you need to do.
And if you're turning a house around rather quickly and you're trying to make a profit on it, depending on the market situation, maybe that's not necessarily an easy thing to do.
It also depends on what upgrades you've done while you've been there. Okay, that obviously plays a role, but absolutely, you have to be aware of what's going on and be careful.
Because a buyer can look at what it's sold for before, right?
That information's available.
Yeah, that information is out there.
A lot of sellers also take the approach of building in a buffer zone or an area where they feel that their home is worth X, but they're going to up the price because they want some negotiating room. And that's also, I don't feel, the best approach, because what will happen is you might, there might be buyers that are pre-qualified for a certain amount and their agent will never show them that property. And you're losing key exposure time. The first 2 to 3 weeks the home's on the market is when it has its biggest impact.
Or the hottest, because after that it's like you drive by and you see, oh, that house is still for sale. I wonder what's wrong with it.
And then it starts to get that stigma to it. So after 3 weeks, that's when you maybe go back to the client and say, you know what, we need to adjust the price. Is that?
Every situation's different.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that would be certainly something that I would say we should consider.
Right.
But every situation's different.
Right. How do you feel personally about open houses? Do you do them or do you not?
I absolutely do them. A lot of clients expect that I do them, and I actually enjoy it. Open houses are definitely a tool that can be used to sell your home. Is it the best tool? No, but it's a tool. And My approach is I would like to see a seller and myself do everything. I'd like to use every tool I can to sell the home. So I don't like to remove that from the sale process. But MLS, internet, things of that nature, obviously.
Well, that
internet is huge,
everybody
right?
does that now,
and that's
right?
the thing. I mean, you have a great opportunity to go online. You get the 3D virtual tour.
Yes.
You get to see so much of the house before you even go into it, and it actually can help you to kind of cut down on your own travel time, because you might see a house and go, no, that's not for me, just by what you see on the internet, or you might be intrigued enough to take it a step further. Right?
Absolutely, the internet has really changed the business.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I always think of open houses as something like, okay, I didn't want one at my other house because I knew the neighbors are all going to come in. They've already been in the house, that kind of thing. So
I know.
Everybody comes through to get
but it is good exposure, right? Because maybe you're bringing, maybe you know somebody in mind that, oh, maybe they would be interested in this house kind of thing.
Neighbors can help. They know friends and family that might want to move into the area, and even though you've got the stigma that they're just being nosy, there's the odd few.
I've done it myself.
But that's the thing. You're constantly wanting to know what houses are going for on the street. Should you ever decide to? And
what have they done? If it's a similar layout, what have they done in their place?
See, they're educating themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sport, though, isn't it?
It is.
Looking at houses.
It is.
Do you find a lot of people? There are people out there that just are the ones that are going around kicking tires and looking at stuff and getting ideas.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people love to look at homes, and they're doing it for decorating ideas, future ideas. But sure, that's there. But as part of an agent, it's our job to qualify them and make sure that we're bringing in qualified buyers.
Okay,
all right,
Mike, we're going to hold you right there. We're going to be back with more. Mike, right after the break.
They went home by another way. Yes, they went home by another way.